Hey everyone, I'm Shannon,
I'm Julia.
and we're with the Above and Beyond movement, and happy Friday.
Happy
As
Friday.
we promised you, today we brought on our very first guest speaker, and we are so excited for you guys to meet him. We have here with us Jordan Goodman.
Yeah, what's up? Thanks
So,
for having me.
of course, Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about you and your businesses? Because you are a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, so look, I most identify as a drummer in the world. Most, if not all of what I do includes my skill and interest in drumming and more specifically rhythm. So I'm a licensed psychotherapist. My main therapeutic modality is drumming, is rhythm. I often get hired through my company Beatwell to share at conferences and with businesses in a drum circle format. We're sharing rhythmic exercises for outcomes like stress reduction or culture and team building or leadership development. I also play in a rock band and have spent a long time, traveling the country and performing and recording music. I am a music educator. I've taught for a long time. Often I get students who are referred to me by medical professionals. So maybe people who are on the autism spectrum or ADHD or things like that, because they realize that I can provide music education through a unique lens and perspective. I have also always loved pro wrestling and have found many ways throughout my life to not only engage in that, both as a performer when I was a teenager, but also as a professional as recently as last year when I worked Madison Square Garden wearing a suit, being a representative for a major pro wrestling company. So rhythm is my thing, and I've used that as the lens through which, whatever I'm interested in, I figure out ways to achieve it.
So
So,
that's actually how we met, Jordan. You facilitated a drum circle at the Movement Lab during a cacao ceremony. And I was so impressed with how you got everybody involved and immediately made everybody feel comfortable. So thank you for that facilitation. And I feel very lucky to have met you. Sorry, Julia.
no, that's okay. I was literally just going to ask a little bit more about what are your favorite things that you are really working on right now in reference to all of those different fields. I'm really excited to hear more.
Yeah, so look, obviously we're living through an unprecedented global pandemic. That is wild. So that for me and everyone has in many ways shifted not only our perspective on how we're choosing to live the privilege of this life, but also the ways that I can realistically, work with clients. I'm not going to get hired right now to go drive to DC to put physical instruments in the hands of people at a conference.
Right.
So I had a podcast. I still have a podcast. We started it years ago, but brought it back at the start of this quarantine. I do it with my friend Matt, who's a world-renowned drummer, and my brother Justin, who is a world-renowned brother to me. And it has been one of the silver linings of this pandemic. The gravity or the heartbeat of the podcast is a private Facebook community. We have about 1,800 people in there right now. So that allows us to literally engage daily with fans and listeners and friends from all over the world. Yesterday, we recorded an episode and it was like a legit A-list celebrity. The week before, we had a conversation with a retired veteran who worked as a bomb technician in the Air Force. So the idea is we're engaging with people who are both interesting, engaging, but most importantly, can offer a ton of value and wisdom to our audience, who are mostly creatives seeking self-improvement. So that is what I'm really interested in the short term right now. And also finding ways to continue being a drummer, using my interest and gift in rhythm to provide value. Right now I'm working with a lot of clients on the phone, and that's the way that we're doing it instead of drumming in person or chatting in person. So that's kind of been my focus the past few weeks.
I know that, and thank you for sharing that with us. I'm really excited to hear some of your stuff after we're finished today. But I know before we hopped on this, we were talking a lot about something that you have focused on greatly over the last couple of weeks, month, and just in your career and life. So I kind of wanted to prompt you to talk a little bit more about that. I know on our platform, we've been talking about mindset all week. So I'm excited to hear about your take on mindset and anything that you would want to share.
Yeah, so look, in reflecting on this, I kind of realized I've never fully operationalized or synthesized my process for setting a goal or an unprobable dream and achieving it. I've done that many times, and I credit first Seth Godin, Godin. If you haven't heard of him, his book specifically, Linchpin. That was my blueprint when I was at the very start of grad school. I have a master's in clinical psychology, and I realized at the very beginning, if I don't enter this field or continue my life leading from a place of being a musician, of being a drummer, then I am going to live with massive regret. I am not going to execute on my full potential, both personally and what I could offer the world. So he provided mindset and blueprint. I've used that book and then created, and brought in my own perspectives and obviously the perspectives of many other wise people in the world. So rhythm-based marketing, what is that?
I love that term.
Thank you. Yeah, I kind of do too. And it's given me a lot of energy over the past week as I continue to think about it and figure out how do I best express that. And the fact that it's giving me energy is letting me know that it is something that I am in rhythm with. Okay. So as I said, I'm a drummer. Rhythm is a way that I've fundamentally experienced myself and other people and the world more generally, for decades now. So it's a concept that makes sense to me. It's a way that I can perceive really critically. So rhythm-based marketing, what does it mean to be in rhythm?
Please tell us.
Yeah, look, it means that we're honest, right? It means that we're authentic. That's a buzzword for great reason. People, and especially younger people, can detect bullshit. That's why I love working with 5-year-olds if I'm doing some drum program. If they're not feeling it, they'll let me know, and they're going to make me work for my money if I'm not feeling it. Okay? So being in rhythm with ourselves, it's being honest. So for me, the times I've been most successful in life and in career have usually been involved around music and pro wrestling, because at a young age, those are the things that I naturally gravitated toward.
And your passions, it sounds like.
Absolutely. So
yeah, I mean, I see that poster behind you.
Yeah,
What better way to be authentically you?
Right. And that is being in rhythm with myself. There's a lot of people who may like something like pro wrestling or whatever it may be that may have some shame about it, embarrassment, may think, oh, it's not professional enough to present in certain ways. It's been a journey for me. When I started grad school many years ago in the field of mental health, like I had a dumb haircut and I dressed in a way that like I didn't feel really alive in because I was trying to fit in. I have empathy for anyone trying to figure that out. But as soon as I decided to be more in rhythm with myself, it was like, boom, I had vision. And, now professors ask me to come back and share with their current students because they saw me as someone that used the privilege of a higher education to really execute on a clear vision for themselves and the world, instead of just doing what you think is expected.
Sure. And that's an important element, right? You got to really stay in line with what your rhythm is and bringing that into the world to be in alignment. So can I ask you, if you were sharing with our listeners here today, you're talking a lot about finding your own rhythm and using your own rhythm. Do you have any like quick tips of how they can kind of think about their own lives and making sure that they're living in alignment with their own rhythms?
Yeah, so look, I think developing any practice of self-awareness, a way to more deeply, more honestly connect with yourself, whether that's through meaningful, non-surface level conversations with people that you trust, whether that's a mindfulness meditation practice. For some people, it's journaling. For some, it's yoga. For some, it's taking walks or being in nature. Look, the body knows, and we know. Oftentimes, we or our ego or whatever it may be is trying to fool us, right? If we can develop self-compassion, then we will develop the ability to be more honest with what's actually inside of us. And then being able to accept that within us. As business owners, not only is it important to do that within ourselves, but if we can't do it within ourselves, then we're not going to develop the ability to have empathy for our ideal client. We're not going to have the ability to have empathy or understanding for the people that we work with. So being in rhythm doesn't stop with ourselves. We have to be in rhythm with our company or organization, our brand, because people are going to resonate most with the organization if there is a true, authentic identity.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if we're trying to attract a client base or a customer base or a fan base, we need to be in rhythm with who they are too.
Exactly.
And understand their needs, understand their pain points, and be able to communicate to them in a way where we meet them where they're at because we're in rhythm with them, but still doing it in a way that we show up as ourselves because we're in rhythm with ourselves as well.
That's awesome.
I love that. I mean, realistically, what you're saying is by being in alignment with yourself, you're attracting people who are also in alignment with that. And that is so true in life and in business. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, totally.
If people wanted to find you, where can they find you?
Yeah, Instagram's fun at Jordan Beatwell. Websites beatwell.org, chocolatecroissants.com, or on YouTube. Chocolate Croissants is the podcast. On YouTube, youtube.com/chocolatecroissants. We also have a private Facebook group, as I mentioned earlier. It's a place that is safe, supportive, inspirational. So if you'd like to join, you are welcome. Facebook.com/groups/chocolatecroissants.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We're really looking forward to putting this out there to our community and getting to know you better in the future. And for all of our listeners out there, we'll be doing these and launching these on Fridays. We're really looking forward to bringing some amazing local just business professionals who are doing their thing and helping others in the process and spreading that above and beyond movement as worldwide as possible.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Shannon,
Thanks so much, Jordan.
Yeah, Shannon, Julia, appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.